Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. So, Bryan Kohberger, yet again, people are talking about him. They just can't stop talking about the burger. And look, there's a couple of things that are out in the media at the moment. Still talking about the gag order and the fact that his defence team have kept the gag order in place. You know, they're supporting this being kept tight-lipped, nobody talking about it, not being left out in the... This is how I feel about this. I feel that, look, innocent until proven guilty and all that, but the fact that they seem to themselves also be wanting to keep everything hush and quiet, to me that's almost a sign of guilt. That to me is like, if he was innocent, if he was truly innocent and done nothing wrong, then he would want this out in the public arena. He would want this to be seen. He would want everything to be heard out in the open and for people to be able to mull over it and look at it, because he's got support. There is support out there. As much as there are people who want to crucify the guy before he's gone through the due process, there are supporters of him. And look, would somebody who is truly innocent of these crimes be of a mindset that they want a gag order? It could just be that they feel that if it's not gagged and if it does get out there, it could have a negative impact. But we seem to be more worried about Bryan in certain situations than they themselves seem to be, and that to me speaks volumes. But I do still feel he has to go through due process. I'm not going to stand here and say that he's guilty. I'm not going to stand here and say he's not guilty. I'm just going to say that the fact that they themselves, the defence team, want to keep everything closed off and hidden, to me, reeks a little bit like they're guilty. But anyway, Swiftly Moonlight, let me know what you think down below. Is he just protecting his right to a fair trial? Or is that indeed a sign that he is indeed guilty? But anyway, BK's daughter has spoken out again, and she's talking about the support that he's getting and the way that people are potentially feeding his ego. Which to me, the way I look at it is, if he's guilty and they've got evidence to prove that he's guilty, it don't fucking matter about his ego anyway, does it? There's a bigger issue here, and we'll talk about that later on in this video. But look, let's have a look at it together, shall we? So look, the daughter of BTK serial killer says Bryan Kohberger's fans and supporters risk feeding his ego. Kohberger, 28, is charged in the deaths of Kaylee, Madison, Xana and Ethan. They were found stabbed to death inside a rental home near the university campus in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. He is yet to enter a plea to the charges, but a lawyer who previously represented him said he was eager to be exonerated. You know, he said that. That was his own words. He's eager to be exonerated. The case has garnered widespread publicity and attention on social media, with some coming to Kohberger's defence. You know, on this channel, we've come to his defence in a degree that I feel that he deserves due process. You know, without the system, all you're left with is chaos, and there is enough of that out there. We need due process. We need to be able to trust it, and it needs to work and function. Does it? That's questionable. On Facebook, there are a number of groups calling for justice for Kohberger, and at least one woman has been sending him love letters. Kerry Rawson said, anyone posting messages in support of killers and alleged killers is playing into their hands. It should not be celebrated or worshipped, she told Newsweek. In doing so, people are only feeding their egos. I do believe that they shouldn't be celebrated and worshipped. We've spoken about this briefly before. You know, we study them, we want to watch them, we want to see what's going on. We've got documentaries coming out left, right and centre about the likes of Dharma, BTK, Bundy. You know, there's films made on these people, and that shouldn't be the case. Shouldn't be. If they've done the crime, they've definitely done it. They've been convicted. They've gone through due process. They've facing the death penalty or life behind bars without the possibility of parole. Fuck them. Let them rot. And don't talk about them anymore. Let their memory and their name die alongside the victims. That's how I see it. But look, it says, Rawson said fan man began arriving for her father, Dennis Rader, who called himself BTK for Bryan Torture Kill at the Wichita jail where he was being held shortly after his arrest in February 2005. He's perpetuated it with his own prolific letter writing, artwork, and making back-end deals through the murder memorabilia black market, she said. In some cases, particularly with women over the years, I've seen unhealthy attachments arise with my father. She added, noting that some may have hybristophilia, defined as a sexual interest in and attraction to those who commit crimes. Another fucking label. Got to label everything. We spoke about this last night, didn't we? Bottom line, my father is a dangerous, sexual, sadistic psychopath and pathological liar and a narcissist, she said. No love lost between them. People need to remember that when communicating with him and others like him. While correspondence is monitored in jails and prisons, Rawson is concerned that officials are not able to check everything thoroughly. Love letters to a prisoner are frankly quite low on the list of concerns and should be when taken into consideration of much larger needs, she said. However, she expressed concerns that those sending the letters may not be aware of the risks they are creating for themselves by doing so. I'm not sure that fans writing someone like my father or potentially Kohberger are aware that in fact they are putting their own lives at risk by sharing their addresses and private information, she said. Kohberger, formerly a graduate student at Washington State University in Pullman, is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. A preliminary hearing is scheduled to begin in late June. It's actually the 26th of June, for those of you who don't know the exact date. But it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts down below. I do thoroughly believe that we offer these people too much of a stage and too much of a platform. But does it, on the grander scheme of things, really truly make that much difference in the Bryan Kohberger situation if people are showing some signs of support? I don't think, like I say, it's going to make that much of a difference if indeed he did the crime and they've got the evidence there to tie this up in a neat little bow. The question is as to whether they do, in fact, have enough evidence to tie this up in a nice little bow. We've certainly not seen it, even the latest list of things that were taken when he was arrested. Some of them may have been his family's. A lot of it was just stuff that you would expect to see in many people's wardrobes, and who knows what they have got that we don't know about. But certainly the things that we've seen, that doesn't paint him as this is going to be a case of lock him up and throw away the key, so to speak, or whatever they choose to do. But the Murdoch case, we've seen how you don't have to have as much evidence as you may think to convict. That's going to split the room. Watch. But anyway, that is it. That's all we've got. This was video 2 of 3 today. There's going to be another video, short one, later, with respect of the iPhone giveaway finally. Done my fucking head in. I mean, fucking head in. I'll catch you all in the next one.